Alright guys, so some huge news today when it comes to the world, I should say realm of Mortal Kombat. Another trailer for Mortal Kombat 1. This is our second big look at the game, and it's revealed some new characters that'll be playable, new characters that will be cameo playable, and we'll talk about what that is in a second here, as well as some different versions of characters. That's something that we've kind of gotten used to in the world of Mortal Kombat these days as we travel through time and dimensions. I think right there we're seeing a much younger Kung-Lao, but it's not just going back in time, as we'll find out. It's actually an entire other timeline where the characters have completely different backstories than to what we're used to. For instance, Scorpion and Sub-Zero are now confirmed not only to not be sworn enemies, they are brothers. And you got Liu Kang here, who's coming back in time to into this alternate timeline to recruit new good guys. He pulls in Kung-Lao there and somebody else, I'm not sure who that was next to Kung-Lao, but to join him as well as Scorpion and Sub-Zero. Here we're seeing the first footage of Johnny Cage and Kenshi, both confirmed playable characters as opposed to cameos, but this is a Sub-Zero cameo. He's an assist character, and Ed Boon talked about this a little bit afterwards, after the trailer played, that the assist characters will be able to come in and do a handful of different assist type moves. It's a single button input, and then you can press forward or down or left or right when you do that, and that will affect the assist. But we're also seeing more story bits here. Johnny Cage in his multi-million-dollar home. This is going to be a stage you can play on, as we just saw. And here's Liu Kang. Now he's putting the hurt on Scorpion, and a familiar face, Jax, but not just any Jax, Mortal Kombat 2 Jax, pre-bionic arm Jax with that iconic, well, I don't know if it's iconic, but those trademark red pants that we haven't seen really since MK2. This is Shaolin Temple, yes, but it's actually Lord Raiden, and it appears that Raiden is at least somewhat a human now. He still has these electric godly powers, but he seems to be a human, and there's a cameo appearance from both Sonya and Kano. Both of those characters have been confirmed as cameos, although they are not, at least not yet, on the main roster, and we'll clarify exactly who is on the main roster so far and then who's only a cameo, and some overlap. We jump over here. Mileena is an empress, and Kitana's hanging out with her. They're more buddies than they have been previously. Mileena's suffering from some kind of deadly sickness that they have to keep under wraps, so the story is already starting to get really interesting, and we only have bits and pieces. A Goro assist, a cameo appearance from Goro there, and we see this what looks like an Edenian stage. And there's a different form of Kung-Lao you saw there. Boon noted that a lot of the cameo appearances are callbacks to older versions of these characters, so you're going to see the likes of Mortal Kombat 1, Mortal Kombat 2 versions of characters. So one of the biggest questions that people are naturally going to have right now is which characters are actual playable roster members in the standard traditional sense, and which ones are the assist/cameo ones. There's actually a whole other roster that you choose from once you pick your main character, as we got a little bit of footage from afterwards where we see the cameos. But the first main playable characters that are confirmed so far include Liu Kang, Mileena, Kitana, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Raiden, Kung-Lao, Johnny Cage, and Kenshi. And then we also know that Shang Tsung will be available, although he's going to be a pre-order bonus, and then one has to assume that there will also be ways of getting him onto your roster. If you don't pre-order the game, you'll probably just have to purchase him separately. As far as cameo fighters, which are confirmed, we saw a roster that had 16 slots for cameos, but so far we know that Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Sonya Blade, Kano, Goro, Kung-Lao, Stryker, Jax are all the confirmed ones. So we know half of them, if there are indeed 16 when the game comes out. And we're not that far away from the game coming out. It's slated to come out in September. Specifically September 19th on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, Nintendo Switch, which is a little bit surprising seeing a Mortal Kombat coming out directly for Nintendo Switch, and then of course PC, and that'll be through both Steam and the Epic Games Store. So we're getting some footage of well, at least a work in progress character select screen. You see slots for 24 characters there. Now, Boone and his team have definitely trolled fans before with character select screens. I think it was MKX, where they had interesting little thumbnail images of characters, and they were kind of misleading. Here we're seeing the Kameo character select screen. And like I said, there are 16 spaces there, and we see, well, only 3 options here, although we know 8 of the total options thus far. Kano being traditional Kano, very much there with a very gross snot rocket to start things out. And the Mortal Kombat pre-character select screen interactions are very intricate. Oh, look at that. Now, that transition went all the way into the actual gameplay. So, interesting stuff, little bells and whistles that they're adding on here. I will say that this feels... I mean, it looks absolutely gorgeous, especially if you're watching on modern technology and you see it in the glorious 4K and can really appreciate everything that the game has to offer there. I also have to say that there's a little bit of a feeling of this is an extension of MK11. Not, of course, in the... Well, I mean, in the story, it literally picks up right where MK11 leaves off. But I just mean more like... I don't know if this feels like it looks like it's a brand new Mortal Kombat, or if it looks like it's kind of just more of the same with a few extra bells and whistles. And not that I'm really complaining about that either, because MK11 looked pretty great in a lot of ways. It's pretty state-of-the-art. But that said, when you get a new entry to something like Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter, or any of these big, long-term AAA fighting game titles, you usually want to be able to distinguish it as absolutely that's the new thing, and it's in some way just the new, whether it's art style or presentation or something. And I mean, Mortal Kombat and NRS have really set the bar high to begin with. This one looks really good, but it does feel to me like maybe a little bit too much of an extension of Mortal Kombat 11 to capture that new MK feel, get that new smell, so to speak. But I'd like to hear what you guys think on that front, if this does stand out as the new Mortal Kombat, or if it does feel a little bit like just on the coattails of the previous one. Alright, so just a few more things here to wrap stuff up. We see a little bit of an Easter egg in the background of this stage here. It looks as though that's a picture of Suhao, infamously the most hated character in Mortal Kombat. Ed Boon's one of his 2 most hated characters, Suhao and Draman. We don't suspect we'll be seeing Suhao on the roster here, probably not as a cameo either, but he's pretty much just relegated to the background in Easter egg appearances like this, and usually not so flattering ones, but something fun just to point out here in the trailer. Another big thing is, will there be fatalities from cameo characters? You didn't see it here because there is a cute little kitten in the way when it happened, but Kano, whom we know is a cameo character only thus far, does his traditional heart rip fatality of sorts. Now, I was thinking about this, and I'm not sure if there are team fatalities yet, but this could be kind of more in the style of brutalities, in that when you kill someone with a certain move or with certain criteria met in the last couple of games, you would go into this sequence where it would actually kill them, and the move would have a different animation that would like explode a head or whatever. It would murder the opponent as opposed to just knock them down. I'm suspicious that maybe when you kill someone with an assist, that there's a potential for it to go into a kill sequence animation like that, and that's what we were seeing there. Because again, we did see Scorpion be part of Sub-Zero's windscreen after a fatality, and maybe that Sub-Zero was the cameo and the Scorpion was the main character. There could be a lot going on here, but we're not sure if there are team fatalities. And that's the gist of everything we saw here in our first pass through. We'd love to hear what you guys' thoughts are so far, and if we missed anything that looks like it's going to be particularly important, or any Easter eggs that stood out to you that we didn't cover here, let us know in the comments below so we can report on those and so that everybody else can get clued in on it. Let us know how excited you are. This game is coming out fairly soon. It's almost like we're traveling through time ourselves. September is right around the corner, and then there is the beta for those that pre-order the game, and that's going to be happening in August. So stuff coming together for Mortal Kombat 1 very rapidly here. Again, guys, let us know in the comments what you think, if you're hype, if we missed anything. I've been John Velociraptor Guerrero for EventHubs. Thanks so much for watching this video, and we will see you in the next one.